Hey Grimlock, where is me team? Well, we're doing my team right now, so you're gonna have to wait for I don't know, 2 years or so. What? One sec, me Grimlock will be back.
Sup guys, and in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Studio Series Leader Class 86 number 19, Dinobot SNARL. And of course, I was able to pick this up at Walmart, and that was probably the last time I ever saw SNARL. Yeah, this guy's pretty hard to find. For some reason, Hasbro thought it was a great idea to pre-order this guy 5 months prior to his official release. Or maybe it was more than that. The pre-order popped up in March of this year, and then these figures finally started popping out somewhere around October. But nonetheless, he's in my possession and ready to be unboxed and reviewed. But real quick, let's take a look at the packaging. On the front is this pretty artwork of SNARL, and apparently he can do that with his tail. I guess that's cool. The rest of the packaging is all logos, names, age recommendations, this and that. Look what they got here. Plastic-free packaging, except tape and glue. On the side is this nice little artwork of SNARL, and on the other side is a nice little artwork of SNARL, but more close up to his face. On the top is the Transformers the movie logo, and on the bottom is all boring. But then turning to the back, you get a little bit more info on what you get inside the box, and the rest is all pretty much words, and words. Oh yeah, and this thing has 31 steps for a leader class. Could have sworn there's a deluxe class that has this amount of steps. Way to go. But hey, that's modern day G1 toys for you. For some reason, some of their transformations are a little bit too simplistic. But anyways, let's unbox this guy. What? Huh? Well, that's a chunkster. Come on out. Not really too hefty, but whatever. Alright, let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, this nice little sword. Whew. It's a little bit more bigger than I thought. Nice. And here we have Dinobot SNARL out of the packaging. And of course the character is from the 1986 movie. SNARL is the 4th Studio Series 86 Dinobot to come to fruition. And that would be it, right? Well, wrong, because unlike Age of Extinction, which only had 4 Dinobots, the 86 movie had 5. We're missing Swoop, which is basically Strafe. And after that, we should be done with Dinobots. Well, anyway, Strafe is one of the 3 new leader class figures coming out next year. The other one is concept movie Megatron. Can't wait for that one. And then rather than the 3rd one being any of the Age of Extinction Dinobots, it's Springer. Now before you say, that's supposed to be for the 40th anniversary, Springer didn't debut until 1986. We're celebrating 40 years because Transformers G1 came out in 1984. But I don't have a Springer figure, so whatever. Maybe in 2025 we could finally see some of the Dinobots. That would be nice. But for now, we're going to work with what we got here. So, moving on to SNARL. The painting and sculpting, pretty good. This figure does a really great job resembling what he looked like in the movie. You see, that's the thing I like about these Studio Series Dinobots, and that's why they got me into the Studio Series 86 line, is that they represent the character in the movie so well that you just want to collect them and everything. And besides, they're big chunky boys. Why not? The head sculpt is okay. I mean, it's not Grimlock or Slug, but it's fine. You turn to the back, and this ought to be the cleanest back that I've seen for a Studio Series Dinobot. The rest either have this, or something similar to this, dangling on the back, which was quite weird. Also, the quality on this guy is really sturdy, unlike the previous Dinobot. Sludge, which was the previous Dinobot, had a problem where his legs were loose like crazy. But hey, they rectified that mistake with SNARL. Also, the joints I feel are very tight, not too loose. Oh, and I also happen to find some rubbery plastic on the spikes, especially right around the leg right here, and on the back right here. Also, I can't seem to get my eyes off of this. This looks like some targeting computer from Star Wars A New Hope. Also, that's a nice looking Autobot logo right in the chest. But hey, that's something the other Dinobots have on their chest, especially Grimlock. Now, I forgot to mention that I think Snarl didn't really appear that much on screen, or at least not as much as Grimlock and Slug. Snarl and Sludge, I feel, were basically side characters. Whereas with Swoop, I think he died. I don't know. Oh, and by the way, does anyone remember that one Age of Extinction mainline Snarl? Yeah, that toy looked very goofy. Never picked it up. It's okay, I got a better one. Also, there does happen to be some alternate mode kibble on the back of the arm right here, but it's not too bad. At least it stays there and doesn't move around and stuff like that, unlike someone else. Anyways, let's get down to accessories, which he only comes with this nice little sword, which is made of rubber, so it's obviously gonna bend. Either way, it's a nice looking sword. I like how fat it looks too. Oh, and by the way, Snarl is the very first Transformers Studio Series 86 Dinobot to come without a gun, because the other three come with guns. Some people wish Grimlock came with a sword, but yeah, I'd rather his gun than a sword. Anyways, you just simply plug in the sword right onto his hand, and there you go, he's ready to massacre. You know, this guy doesn't have a gun and everything, but he still looks pretty mean with the sword. And for weapon storage, you just simply plug the sword right onto that little tab right there. I don't know why this guy wanted to pop a squat for some reason. And if you want to be creative, you could put it on the shoulder right here. Get in there. I don't see how that's used other than doing a shoulder stab. That didn't make any sense. Here he is with Sludge's big cannon looking gun, which is 5mm compatible. That means you could store in any blast effect you want right in the front. But it's not even his gun, so what's the point? Oh, and you'll probably notice these two tabs right here. Yeah, those are 3mm compatible, so you could just plug in any of your blast effects right onto there. And, yeah. For some reason in the movie, he could shoot stuff out of his tail, which was weird. But hey, it was effective and quite creative. Anyways, I think it's time we move on to Articulation, in which Articulation consists of a few ratchet joints. I mean, rightfully so, this is a leader class we're talking about. And for some reason, the Dinobots are the only ones that happen to have ratchet joints. And loud ratchet joints at that. Well, what I mean is any leader class that came out with ratchet joints after 2020. Anyways, ball joint at the head, which allows the head to look up and down. And can't forget the swivel. The tail pieces can move from side to side. Full rotation at the arm, which is on a goofy ratchet joint that makes an awful noise. Bend at the shoulder, bend at the elbow swivel. And if you want, this is for transformation, but if you want, you could move this out so you could extend the elbow bend. Wrist swivel, waist swivel, leg can move forward, can move backwards, legs can spread, thigh rotation, bend at the knee. Ooh, that was loud. Nice! The foot is on a pivot joint, and the toe can move up and down. So yeah, the Articulation allows for some pretty decent posability. Anyways, I think it's time we get down to size comparison. Starting off, we got Grimlock, Slug, Sludge, Gnaw, which will be getting a package refreshing next year. His Wavemate Ratchet. Back to the originals from 2021, we got Jazz, Cup, Blur, Hot Rod, Scourge, Brawn, cause why not? And lastly, Studio Series AoE Grimlock. Now, during the time this figure came out, he was $50. This guy's $55. It's okay, this guy got reissued in the $55 price point, so they're both even. And the gang's all here. Well, minus Swoop. But hey, he's coming next year, just wait. So hopefully after Swoop, we can finally move on to the Age of Extinction Dinobots. After all, my boy Grimlock out here feels a little alone, has been for 5 years now. To me, it never made sense, because this guy came out before any of the Dinobots from the 86 movie. So hopefully in, say, 2025, we start out with Slug and Scorn and then make our way down to Strafe, maybe like a year after 2025. And hey, maybe after Strafe, we could get some concept Dinobots, like Slash, Slog, Snarl. But by the time Hasbro decides to do those concept characters, I'm probably going to be in my 30s. Anyways, if those 3 concept characters were to come to fruition, the Age of Extinction Dinobot team would outnumber the 86 Dinobot team 7-5. So yeah, go team Age of Extinction. Anyways, I think it's time we get down to transformation, which is something that I prepared myself ahead of time to watch a video tutorial on how to transform this guy from robot to alternate mode loads of times. With Sludge, for some reason, I kept on forgetting how to transform this guy. Like, I will go back to watch a video, and then I'll remember how to transform this guy, but then the next day I'll forget. Yeah, pain. Also, I don't think I did a review of this guy. I guess after my review of Slug, which underperformed significantly, I decided not to do any Dinobots anymore. But hey, we're doing it with Snarl now because he's new. I never even did one with Grimlock. That's a shame. But hey, I did a review of this guy. Anyways, before we get sidetracked, what we're going to do with the transformation first is work on the arms. So what you're going to do is you're going to untab this, and there should be a tab right here that will pick it to that slot right there. Make sure they both tab in. And then next what you're going to do is move this whole leg section out. And then what you're going to do is fold in the hand. Make sure it goes all the way in. Although I think never mind. Move the foot out and then rotate it. And yeah, there you go. You do the same thing for the other side. And then what you're going to do next is move the arms upwards. What you're going to want to do next is move this whole thing out. And then you're just going to close in the head. Also, when you want to transform this guy back to robot mode, all you got to do is just go through this hole right here and then push his head up. And now for the legs. What you're going to want to do first is make sure you close in the feet, fold in the toe, extend this, rotate, and then on the back of the foot, you're just going to move all of this outwards, and then extend this, rotate it outwards, and then move this out like so, and then make sure it closes in, and then you leave this out. What I recommend you do next is move this out, and then leave this out like so, move the half of the head out, and then just close the rest of this front piece back in there. Oops, I forgot to do one more step that's quite crucial. You're gonna move this outwards so that way this doesn't like cause any stress because if it's resting on this side right here. Here's a better view. Like that. Man, how did I almost forget about that? Anyways, you do the same thing with the other side, and then what you're gonna do next is just close everything in. Make sure this is closed in as well. Now here comes the tricky part. What you're gonna do is you're gonna move this out and then close this all in. Make sure, oh, what fell over there? Make sure these two toes go under this piece right there, and then close everything in. Make sure the front of the chest is closed in as well. Then you can go ahead and close in these two big chunks of pieces on the bottom. Fold in the tail. Wrap this spinal cord around the middle of the top of the butt. Move the back of the legs downwards, unfold the front of the foot downwards, and then move this down as well. Same thing for the other leg. And here we have the Dino mode. And yeah, that's pretty chunky. But hey, he feels a little bit heavier than before. For some reason, the robot mode felt a little light, but since everything folded in for the alternate mode, it feels a little bit more hefty. Just by the slightest though. Still feels a little light. Also, who came up with the name Stegosaurus? Could have sworn there were other Dinobot names that ended with the root word saurus, like Brachiosaurus or Spinosaurus? I need to watch Jurassic Park. Also, weren't the Stegosaurus in Jurassic Park a little brutal? Also, I just went full on Jurassic Park mode for some reason. This is Transformers we're talking about, but with a sprinkle of dinos. Anyways, painting and sculpting, pretty good. Looks just about like what he'd look like in the movie. Just for some reason, the tail is on the butt and not the side. Also, for some reason, his head had to be split in half for transformations, so there's this annoying little crack in the middle. However, Grimlock had the same thing for his left shoulder, however it would fold in for transformation. But the crack is less visible. Unlike this guy. Anyways, for articulation, this thing moves up and down. If you want, you can move this from the side to make him a little bit, just leave it like this. There's another hinge joint right there, and the foot can move up and down. And then the foot is also on a black mushroom peg, which allows the foot to do a little bit of a swivel. And then the front leg is on a ball joint, very stiff and tight ball joint. And the foot on the front is also on a stiff hinge joint as well. And then what's a Studio Series Dinobot without the Dinobot's mouth moving up and down? Unfortunately, the head cannot move, but if you do in fact remove this, if you untab these and just leave them on the bottom, just make sure they don't tab into that little hole or can't see it. Anyways, that allows the head to move up and down. Yeah, that still doesn't take away how limiting the articulation is for this Dinobot. Weapon storage is pretty much the same thing, either on the top right there or on the side right there. And if you want, you can come back to these beautiful little purple blast effects and pop them right onto that 3mm tab right there, blasting his opponents to oblivion. Now, yes, I know the blast effects are supposed to be yellow, but I don't have yellow blast effects. So we're working with what we got here. I forgot which Commander class figure from the War for Cybertron line has the yellow blast effects. I think that's Skyfire. Oh, I'm sorry, Jetfire. At one point, Jetfire was named Skyfire in the G1 show. But I think at the time he was Skyfire, he was a Decepticon, then changed factions, and then he became Jetfire. Here he is alongside Grimmy. Here he is next to Slug. One sec before I do a comparison between him and Sludge. I am currently in the process of transforming Sludge. No. Here he is next to Sludge. And here he is with the entire gang as of 2023. We're still missing Swoop. And tell you what, they all look good together. However, if I'm being totally honest with you, some of these Dinobots are limiting in articulation, to say the least, thus making them less enjoyable in Dinobot mode, except for Grimlock. I don't have that many problems with articulation as I do with the other Dinobots. Grimmy Boy good. Look at him, he's happy and everything. Now, just because I said Grimmy Boy is better than you guys doesn't mean oh, come on! I win. Because this is my video, duh. Also, I noticed this piece fell off when I threw all of the Dinobots onto Grimlock and Slug. Anyways, leave a comment down below which one's your fave. Most likely this guy right here, which is being sold on the market right now as a Toxictron reissue. But anyways, that's enough sidetracking. Cue the outro. Well, anyways, I think that's pretty much it. I think that's all I have to say for this guy. Overall, pretty great figure. Definitely worth picking up for your team of Dinobots. If you want to pick this guy up, however, he's about like 80 to 90 bucks on Amazon. Yeah, it's pretty bad. He's also really hard to find at Walmart and Target. For me, I was a little lucky when I found this guy. I didn't know I was that lucky, other than the expensive price on Amazon and having to track him down on either Walmart or Target. I don't know where else to recommend, because Big Bad Toy Store and most likely Entertainment Earth have sold out already. Yeah, that's the thing about these Dinobots. They sell out real quick, especially on pre-order. No doubt Swoop is going to be like that as well. But hey, it's the last one, so we don't have to worry about these guys anymore after Swoop. Anyways, if you like what you saw in this video, be sure to slam that like button. Be sure to share it with your friends as well. Turn on post notifications so that way you don't miss another video. And most importantly, be sure to hit that big red subscribe button so that way this YouTube channel could pass 5,000 subscribers before 2024. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. See ya!